Malcolm and Metaphorest for bringing me through, and yeah, it's my first time performing here. And yeah, I really enjoyed the last two like special, lovely people that came up and performed, and it kind of guided me to where I wanted to take my space here. So yeah, I'm gonna do something that's unnamed, but it's a really old one, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna do it without the mic as well, because it's quite performative, so I need some space.
Come on.
See, I had too much to say, so I write it away. Weight of the change, pennies like commas mean nothing today. The righteous ones pay the tax for the scum. Like mum, always there reading me poems and yawning, shoulder was tickled by a hair. She was making up the story to get it over with quickly. She yawns more thickly, she tricks me, she tucks me, but yo, daddy, he fucks me. Whoa, not literally dad, but he had me waiting for contact on the street with my nan. Holding hands, I held my hope. I didn't remember their details metamorphosized to lies to cope. And see, bubbles grew quickly at the back of my throat. They made voices sound voices by swallowing choke. And daddy's day I was away in a land of my own. I made Easter cards in that class too overdue to bring home. But still I sat on my throne, yeah. Stories of Taliban lands where I thought my daddy roamed. She ran from the palm of her hand, but I bit off her fingers in ignorance. And see, the girls were crowding round here, which town that I'm from. And I didn't know, so I fabricated it to get them all gone. And I told them it was located between the sea and the sun. That was a comfort blanket to soothe me, because I never sucked my thumb. Yo, at school, at lunch, told them daddy was dead. Teachers frowned a bunch. Mum calls me back and says not to forget or regret from which yins and yangs are bred. That fucked up my head. I felt like the pram was misled. I saw red in seeing the black that I bled. 12 years old and tripping over time, dismiss what I was told, denounce and decline before acceptance into heaven, confess it all on the paper. You throw it into the fire, for he'll forgive you later. But mine says I'm sorry, I can't cater to a god or a father, unseeable violator, original sin and traitor, offended by the fact that you creator, left a crater for the kids to fill it up with why they hate her. Sense of abandonment, abandoned, what the fuck did that mean? Dads and gods rest better as unseeable men. Biology always evaded me because genes were so singular. If you put two legs in one gene side, no, it just couldn't fit on you. And the memories were too particular to make any sense. It was a journey uncompleted. Whoa, the oyster machine won't take pence. On the fence, because black and white seemed like wrong and right. It sounds fucked up, that's right, but by that I mean no offense. 15. Sat down and met the donor finally, and I was offended by the fact that I let him find me. Starter is finished and we're waiting for the main to come. I'm crying, looking fugly, still hungry, but already done. And yeah, promises made that I feel should not have been. Hugs deplored on the body of a vulnerable scene. I wish the scene that I saw could have been unseen, because when you see what's ignored, it cuts the fantasy's beam. That for so long held up what was a fragile dream. That's why they say that I saw, because I hurt and I feel the bliss of the sore, the core it kills. So you just cut it, you drain it till it no longer hurts. Yeah, you push the pus in the plasma till it seeps and it squirts. And I'll say it again, because biology always evaded me. Because genes were so singular. If you put two legs in one gene side, no, it just couldn't fit on you. And the memories were too particular to make any sense. I guess it was like a journey uncompleted. And the oyster machine wouldn't take pence. So I sat on the fence, because black and white seemed like wrong and right. And it sounds fucked up, that's right, but by that I mean no offense.
My name is Diamond Bevell. I'm the composer of words, the creator of music. My message to the world, if you decide to use it, is that you are not alone. I express this through music, spoken word, and poetry, writing about the world around me that I see. So that's where I am. For those of you who were here earlier, there was a brown small book that came around and asked you to write some words in tonight. Is the brown small book anywhere here?
It's in the back pocket.
Yes, it is here. Okay, thank you. So this is a piece based on a collaboration with everyone. They say less is more, but I say more to feel pain less. Maybe now is time that we express, especially whilst we put a shout out to the person who contributed this. How much pain do we go through, but we continue to strain as we go through like bobsleighs so that we continue to slay the demons that we have just passed. As we declare with pain, but not many understand, but we get and either way. And as each day continues to lead us to somewhere that we continue to stray, some hopes, I can read these writings, read these words that were put down precisely with so much thought that they may ignite something that we can travel on this journey with. Forgive me if I am unable to read these words because I continue to create. With the essence that you have put onto this page, we see that there is a gaze sometimes vacant, but we see that we enslave ourselves to insert the blank. I carry my hands on my feet, lyrical acrobatics, maybe small and strong, but as we continue to walk on hand, on foot, do we look? Where are we going? Or do we tread on eggshells that continue to tread well as we see that we tread trenches that we see were parts of past? You can't get a refund on time wasted. Thank you for the contribution. I'll repeat that again. You can't get a refund on time wasted, so why waste time when waste time continues to be wasted? Or do they waste away so that we continue to see that this is the time that we continue to refill our time with food? Since when was that love language? Taken and shaken righteously, forsaken in my humble slumber, I awaken. Thank you to those of you who have added that. But this humble slumber awakens a beast so that we continue that if we wanted to feast on that food, maybe that's how it became a love language. We would continue to exuberate, and then maybe even go into this time where we penetrate. Ironically, it's time that we find the Lakers. And if you wanted to find these breakers, we continue to put them in line so that we can just be less powerful than we were yesterday. I will leave you with this question. How are you going to invite power your way? This is Diamond Bevell reporting live from London, UK on Monday the 6th of February 2023 at 7:49 p.m.
I see teardrops in the sky and sometimes sunny smiles. My grandfather had this gift of stopping the rain on the faces of those hiding from the sun. Let's light a candle in his memory.
Hey, take it back. That was mad. That was absolute. That was a mazza.
Appreciate that. My nose.
Sorry, alright.
By the way, it's his first time at BYOB.
I see teardrops in the sky and sometimes sunny smiles. My grandfather had this gift of stopping the rain on the faces of those hiding from the sun. Let's light a candle in his memory. He may be gone, long gone, traveled to another place, but he is the voice beneath my troublesome thoughts, the one that tells me who I am before I even know it. He's the one writing this, not me. I don't write poetry, I just listen. He whispers in my ears, you are all you need. Falling in love, I learned that my hands carry more words than my mouth does. So when I hold yours...
Say that again.
Thank you for the support. Falling in love, I learned that my hands carry more words than my mouth does. So when I hold yours, a lot is said, but nothing is spoken. I like how our fingers have grown familiar of the places we were once scared of. As I play my fingers on your neck like a piano, that's why your nickname is Symphony. As I bite your ears, somehow thinking it will increase the volume, you tell me to whisper. So maybe it worked. Our hands whisper all night long until our mouths open to unshared secrets at dawn. A lot of poets write of a single flower, and this single metal container carries a meadow of words. And there's a field on the countryside that runs to infinity, but somehow seems to house a single tree. Now this tree doesn't sit lonely, for leans on its bark many a love story. Singular is never singular. It's always plural, you see. Time, even to a single minute, is seconds, milliseconds, and seconds after to an unfathomable reach. So before you give up, what's in you? What's in me? Cheers.
So this piece today is called Matches. Before that, I looked in the mirror with tears in my eyes and asked, why me? Why does every person I let in at some point say goodbye and flee? After a few days in my feels, I came to a realization that life's a whole lot easier when you don't have expectations. Here's a little insight. Just to name a few, a couple of examples of some of the men I knew. Alison tried to save me. FaceTimes and phone calls on a daily, but turns out Madison's carrying this baby. I asked Marley on a date, hoping it's not too late. He replied, I'm on my way to Germany, sorry mate. Diaz came to see me in the spring, asked if I wanted to get some wings, but then sat me down to say he's thinking of ending things. Salah was a cool guy, his ego was a little high, kept calling himself the Egyptian king, so I had to say goodbye. Gomez was my best defender, but every night he was out on a bender, living it up with his next contender. Robertson came with all the chat, but I must say, he was a bit of a spoiled brat, and ran a mile when I asked him to chat. Tiago was a Spanish magician, moving me and other girls to different positions. Ditching him wasn't the easiest decision. Firmino smiled with them pearly whites, dates under the moonlight, till I caught him creeping late at night. Henderson was fun at first, took my heart and was consoling, but then became a little bit too controlling. Trent assisted me in ways I could have never dreamt of, so much better than all of the above, but didn't know what it meant to self-love. Van Dijk was a smooth talker, as well as an elite baller, but then I found out he had a daughter. So let me put it this way, I won't ever let a man disappoint me unless it's my football team. There's a song us Scousers live by, at the end of the storm there's a golden sky. Always keep your head held high, never put my self-worth in a guy. If there's one piece of advice I keep on my side, it's that we never walk alone in this life, but just know I don't ever need a man by my side.
Astounding. How I alive and afraid amongst abhorrent beasts, begrudgingly bestowing breadcrumbs beneath bountiful buffets before us beggars because capitalism creates catastrophes.
Hey, again.
Wheel it.
Jesus.
Astounding. Alive amongst abhorrent beasts, begrudgingly bestowing breadcrumbs beneath bountiful buffets before us beggars because capitalism creates catastrophes. Cash divides, decides, doors, directions, destinations, and even determines your education. And every encounter either elevates or escalates, and evolving expects endurance, and believe me, emotional expression emancipates even if you're far from free. Trust me, go try it, and if it doesn't work, then come fight me. You see, I'm forever frustrated, foggy, forgetting and floating in fantasy frequently. Fielding flowers, garnering and growing grief, getting guarded, grounded as greed glows globally. I guess giving really does give the giver. And believe me, gratitude grants gold. Genuinely get up and go and guide your galaxies. glow gracefully. God guides his herd, he heard hearts hurting, hurling hatred and hiding from healing. And hunger hurts, history hurts. Hearing how indigenous identities were incinerated in fires by ignorant individuals, just why? Just like judgmental judges justifying jagged judgments on juxtapositional juniors, just know that kindness kills. Because knives kill and knowledge kills and knives kill and killing kills, so unknowingly longing to live low-key, loudly, luxuriously. You see, love left lethal lesions that heal through the seasons, but life is life in me. And I'm managing as my mind manifests magically melancholic moments and memories meander and move me. Meanwhile, mother managed my nonsense. Now I'm navigating through Neverland. No longer saying I never needed nobody and narrowly neglecting negative narratives and noticing that nature nurtures only once he's obeyed. And our offerings are obstructed over oil occupations on our oceans of plastic. People, please persist in patterning our planet. And I'm praying pain passes as a passenger in this portal of Poundland possibilities, praying for patience in Palestine and practicing quality and quantity. Querying, questioning and questioning reality. Realizing that reefer reverses rage and red roses rarely repair ruined relationships in a realm where rain rattles repeatedly, so respectfully, speak softly. She's someone who solemnly saw starry skies. She smoked spliffs and sighs, soldiering, shouldering a sunken soul, signaling silent suffering. You see, suicide sometimes sounded like a solution there. Sharing scared her sadness, so she spoke up and served her savior. She shook Shakespearean serpents, sliding slyly from the truth that turned tables. Speak and talk and testify, because trapped trauma turns towns ugly, and underachieving is ungodly. And unlearning unearths universes, so dig inside you and understand that virtues and values speak before you've even spoken visibly. You see, vying for verification and validation actually vexes me. I am avoiding vagabond vibing and vivid, vibrant visuals on vague vacations and visiting vulnerability via a vocal vortex and weaving it in with worries in their wicked webs. Wondering where weeping warriors went and wept. Wondering when I'll stop being watery-eyed when watching Wally. Wondering when will I receive my worthy welcome. And that's as much as I know, so I'm going to finish the rest on here. Wondering when will I receive my worthy welcome, but in a world filled with xenophobes that look at different folks like aliens from books about xenology, Ziantic shades may not even pass the X-ray test, so all that's left is the fire with Zioid-shaped tongues as our Xeric ancestors of yesterday, who were yielded and yearning for their Yakuza youth that was yanked from them by the Yankees and their fucking yo-yo truths. And I'm coming to realize that as an adult, there's no more yesterdays. Just more yawning, yelling, and YouTube yoga, chasing the ends, yet struggling to find zen in a world of Zoom meetings and trapped animals in zoos and money-hungry zombies with zero zest for life. Sadly, zones continue to divide us from Zion, and Palestine is still under Zionist terror, and I pray for its freedom, and I pray for it to continue to bless me with Zata on my tongue. And now, I'm praying for it to continue to bless me with Zata on my tongue, and now I'm zigzagging my way through life. Wondering, now that I've rhymed my A to Z, maybe there's really no limit to my vocabulary. Thank you.
And I'm gonna do a short 1.5 piece, but it's okay. And it's the first. It starts off like this. This is an ode to poetry, innit? Since we're all poets in this place, I thought I'd do this one, innit? Poetry's power is pure passion. Poetry's power is pure passion.
Okay.
Poetry is pure pleasure. Poetry proudly promotes peace. Poetry perplexes into potency. Poetry proves prowess and proficiency. Poetry is a vast abyss of endless sentences. Poetry is the mark of excellent penmanship. It is the creation of an art verbally portrayed, words twisted and morphed in audacious ways, creating conscious conversation for higher spiritual elevation by empowering aspirations. through the use of alliteration, illustrated with imagination. Poetry is truly a pure form of expression.
Cheers.
Thank you. And this piece is very, very short, and it's called It's Okay. Because at the end of the day,
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay that what we were was nothing more than people in passing, meeting at different parts of each other's life. It's okay that I was for you an escape from what had you frightened, and you were for me a space to fill a void in what we had. It's okay that today your memory holds a place in my mind, but there was a day when that wasn't the case because you were never too far away, but still, it's okay that what we were was never meant to be more than what we were, fond of each other's fragrance. It's okay. All I hope is that you are okay.
So my friend asked me, do I miss my dad? And I said, miss? What is there to miss? He's done all of this for me. Maybe 14 years and 14 years he wasn't there.
Nah,
He's forever in my heart because you need to reel it. Okay, sorry.
Say it again.
So my friend asked me, do I miss my dad? And I said, miss, what is there to miss? He's done all of this for me. Maybe 14 years and 14 years he wasn't there. But he's forever in my heart because it was full of fear when he wasn't, hate when he wasn't there. I never dropped a single tear, and still. When he had a fool, he nearly died, and I felt like I had been a fool to hate him. Instead of thinking of ways to reconnect or understand, I was on the PlayStation changing my name from Noor to a Sam. I mean, I must have been like 6 years old, right? I was kicking with the olds in primary. I got bullied into the bench and my lip got bust. And daddy thought that I fought. The first aid lady joked I was kissing girls, but she don't know I hold the belt till my waist went purple. I can tell you about misuses. So if a belt's supposed to hold your trousers up, why they by my feet and I'm getting bruises? I mean, what type of father doesn't listen to their son? When I'm crying out saying, please, I'm telling the truth. I got that for fighting. So if I see him like start crying or I'm out on site and PTSD or GBH thing, I struggle to even hate him because I look just like him. We got identical fucking faces. And me personally, I've been to a lot of different places. I ain't been back home. I was born there and instantly we moved location, so my dad lives there, and I asked the man who gave me life to help me pay for my flight. And my daddy told me no, so why the fuck should I try? Fuck all the reconnecting, I don't want to understand. I'm back changing my name from Naughty to a son. I had girls calling me daddy, I was in the sheets, I was doing F for P's, I can feel the stress relief. My daddy loved his cigarettes. And me, I hate the weed, but smoke and grip on the ground from both sides of the scene. I was 13 with a ball in my bag, don't tell me about a ball. My mommy couldn't keep me at home, I was keeping up with fuckery all summer, straight into the order. And I almost found true love, but I think it's too late for me. I'm 19, I'm here on WhatsApps gracefully. I've been a man in the house, I came up a man myself. I'll be fucked if I call my father asking for some help. So if I see him one day, I might catch him out of surprise out of nowhere like Randy Orton. You know, me and him, we share their birthday actually, 1st of April. The same day as my father never called him. But, yeah, it's life, innit? My mum found true love, it's too late for me. I'm 19, airing WhatsApps gracefully. I've been a man of the house, I came up a man myself. I'll be fucked if I call my father asking for some help. But he reached out to me the other day actually. This was like November, I think, and he must have been like, oh, hello son, how'd you do? And I was like, yeah, I'm good, thanks. That was after like 3 weeks, I aired it for a bit as I do, and then I responded. I don't know why, but I did. And then now he said to me, oh, well, I'm feeling blessed. I'm grateful to hear from you, and I'm glad that you're safe. And then he went and sent me a scripture actually, and then he sent me a link to a cloud computing program for graduates. But I'm 19, so if I went uni, I wouldn't have graduated yet. He's got me confused with the other child that he left. You know, it's kind of fucked, but it's life, innit? So, I'm trying to forgive him, that's why I'm here. I'm struggling, because having a father figure in life can help you with a lot of the things that I've been struggling. So when my friend asked me, do I miss my dad? And I said, miss, what is there to miss? I just wish that I could have had a father figure when I was growing up, but this is just the end of the poem, at least it's not the end of my story. Thank you.
My government name is Nyla, but my initials are an M. Sorry to ruin that for you. The crazy thing is I live in North West London, but I've never been to BYOB, and like, I've been a poet for 4 years, so I'm really sorry. I will come more often. Also, I'm really sorry, I have a short poem, so I have to do like a 4-line poem after that. I'm really sorry, but I promise you'll like it.
Oh, apologize, we're happy for it.
Okay, so the first one is called eudaimonia, which is a Greek word, which loosely translates to the highest state of happiness. I am a taker. I take what life brings. I beat myself down, I give myself wings. I am hedonistic, ripping grass apart. I make enemies of friends and I call it art. I create pages from dust and I burn it for fun. I take pride in breaking hearts and setting fire to the sun. I play heads and tails for important decisions. I ignore my voicemails. I care more about what's on television. I've got responsibilities to ignore, a motivation knocking at my door. Drawing pastel princes, I'm a picky princess. Selling paper cuts to muse with apple cheeks and a red dress. But I am me out like a flat earth conspiracist. And you'll see I've got all the right words like a fairy tale lyricist. I'm messy, I'm not the loudest, and I'm not quite clear. But I write poetry that could resurrect Shakespeare.
Say it again. Wheeler.
I'm messy, I'm not the loudest, and I'm not quite clear. But I write poetry that could resurrect Shakespeare. Give me a heartbeat, I'd rather have a pen. I've got plenty to tell you again and again. Sit down, stay a while. I think you'll leave with a cry and a smile. Give me a chance, I'm beyond something of a brick wall. When you have a voice, you have it all. Okay, so my second one is like 4 lines. I spit lies, the very action I despise. Don't you know the best way to die is in between a woman's thighs?
Bars! 2 bars!
16 bars!
Say it again! Say the whole one!
We're at the beginning of that poem.
I spit lies, the very action I despise. Don't you know the best way to die is in between a woman's thighs?
This one's called Woman. It's about a woman. Mother, sister, aunt, a friend, doctor, lawyer, politician, model, teacher, influencer on social media. Look, all are women. We just want respect. Look, I used to work in this office place, and I was listening to these stories from this girl named Stace and this girl named Trace. 24, pretty face, but that was Stace. But everyone in that place knew that the brains of the team was Trace. Look, see, Tracy was a lady, so she went all flirty. She didn't let him look at her dirty. No, look, Trace was 30, because see, she put them in their place when these dirty old men thought that they had bands for days, but see, really, they're disgusting, and Trace couldn't just sit down and hold back her cringe face, so she told him. I guess maybe that's why when it's time to pick who would sit to deliver the pitch to the new investors, there was clearly some sort of glitch. Could you see this man on top? He seems to pick this pretty young chick as his choice. Over the smarter, clearly more experienced voice. Now, tell me why he did that. Was it because he didn't know that Trace had it together? That Trace knew her stats, or was it he thought the investors would prefer Stacey's racks over Trace's sats? Hold on. Was it that he thought the investors would prefer Stacey's racks over Trace's stats? But hold on, how do you think Stace feels about that? That she's getting sexualized by this dirty old man. Look, he's got this weird limp because of his bad back. He's so old, her granddad's in better shape than this stupid. She lets it go. She allows her jokes because she knows that he's the big boss and she's just another name on the payroll and she needs this job. So she just laughs back. When this dirty old man don't know that it's time to stop the wisecracks. Look, when he's gone too far and she's clearly not finding it funny, girl's got to firm it because She needs to collect her money. Honestly, tell me I'm tripping. See, even in the year we're living, a woman's worth is still about her figure. Now tell me how that's not meant to trigger every lady and every girl in this bullshit world. As whatever we have to say is overturned. Like, we don't get a turn to speak, like, we're not allowed. Now tell me how that's not big, and look, if I am to speak, you don't take me serious. How am I not meant to be fucking furious? Look, when we watched our mothers and our aunts back down, what makes you not think we're still like that now? Alright, let me calm it down. Let's take it back to school. Here's a little science lesson for you. See, the evolution theory, here's proof it's true. See, back a day, women, we never had a say. We stayed quiet, knew our place. Speak when spoken to, took all that shit with grace, never spoke out of turn, always a smile on our face. But eventually, you lot began to take the piss. That's when we had to evolve more than to merely exist. We had to start speaking. We had to start shouting for rights. We'll fight from light till night. We ain't taking your shit no more. We ain't here to be your whores and do your chores. Look, we want more. We're trying to open doors to ensure we're making up our own schools. Speaking up for what we stand for. And look, you lot best be listening. Sat down, legs crossed on the damn floor, paying attention to each word. Best even ask for an encore so you can really listen. Understand there's still a division. Ask how you can join our mission. For once, just keep all of our position as if we was your women. At least agree the shit's messed up in this messed up system. And maybe if you lot got up and asked, is this really how you're living? I guess maybe one day there'd be a difference. Thank you. So that was the first piece I ever did. I don't know what the hell I thought I was doing. I did not know poetry was a thing. I thought I was a rapper. I genuinely had no idea about any of this.
You might still be a rapper, though.
You never know. You may venture that way. But now, all I remember is I was just begging Rohan and annoying him all night when he was meant to be on one of his first dates with his beautiful wife. And I'm so glad I did. I did not do that. You always say this. None of that happened. Yeah, man, I'm just so grateful for this community. Like, I just want to say thank you so much to Abdullah, Akul, Meta, everyone in the room. We love you, man. I just love everyone here. Thank you so much. This really has become like an extended family, and yeah, it's beautiful. Well, yeah, and this is my parents, guys. I've never seen you perform, so this is actually so dope. But yeah, so I'm gonna sing you guys a song as well. So.
Yeah, we love a song. Yeah, yeah.
You want to take this one and take it and take it.
Da 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 la la da 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 da. Mother told me it'll be alright, be a white star, July. Sorry, mother, that's shit advice. I don't know how to win your fight, 'cause I don't even know me. I'm still blowing these trees, trying to figure out what I mean. Who is me? What do I wanna be? What if I achieve? Remember when Mama sang me lullabies? She told me it'll all be alright. Mama didn't tell me how she had to fight every single night. Mama had sleepless nights listening to me cry, crying to herself at night. That collection about the moon and the sun, and just how like women are like the moon and men are like the sun, and I guess just poetically deep in our lives in that analogy. So I'm going to do a couple of pieces from that collection that I'm working on, and it's very much in the writing stages, so there's a lot of poets in the room. If anybody has any ideas, please come forth. This one's called The Moon Told Me What to Do.
Now say that again.
You know when the title was about?
This one's called The Moon Told Me What to Do. See, I never thought I was pretty when I was younger, but I thought I was smart. But no one ever told me that I was smart, but sometimes they'd call me pretty and I'd get mad at them. Now, I just saved that fire for my art, because see, I always told myself I was smart. But I didn't let anyone hear me. I'd whisper it to myself quietly, and the moon would hear me sometimes, because it was only late at night that I gained the pride to look into her eyes. And honestly, I felt sorry for her in those moments of truth with nothing around but the darkness and the moon. But see, there was this light in her eyes. And that light wasn't so bright, but I looked into that light. I looked into that light every night till she grew brighter, till she grew taller, till she started to voice all of her opinions, till she asserted her dominion over herself. She shut out the sounds from outsiders who knew nothing about her. Look, if she didn't know who she is, how could anyone else tell her a thing? It was up to her to bring up this girl. So I looked into her eyes every night till eventually that light was so bright I was mesmerized. See, that's the night I took flight. I returned to the moon, and the moon embraced me. Eternally, gracefully, she said, "My dear, what can I do for you?" I said, "Dear moon, tell me of the stories I told you. I've forgotten them. I'm confused. I used to tell the truth to only you, so tell me, moon, tell me what I would say to you." The moon lit a candle, and she poured me a tea from the flowers she plucked from her garden of jasmine leaves. The moon then told me the story of me, and I began to believe. So now when I speak from the wisdom of me. Thank you. This next one is called Light. It is actually available on all streaming platforms. If you search Light in a Dark Room and Noor, I just released a 5-part project. I'm trying to do that like every 3 months, but don't hold me to that because artists.
It's a top prize EP, everyone is interested.
Yes, well, thank you. Yeah, so I've been disconnecting from misconceptions, breathing, feeling, learning, healing, believe in the bigger picture. Not forcing the image that I want to see, but believing that the Lord knows what's best for me. Look, my plan is something I cannot see. But each day that I wake, I choose to chase the journey. I embrace the seeking for healing. Even if the healing seems deceiving, it hurts when you're healing. Did you know? Healing isn't peace. Peace comes after you heal. Before that, it's like this mental turmoil where you shake, you break, you get up again, and then it's the next day, and something else makes you shake, and then you break, and then it's the next day, and each day is feeling the same, and you're not seeing the bigger picture. Each day that you overcame is not the same. On the first day, you learned your name. You didn't know how to be a light, but you knew that light was ultimately what you would exude, so you'll get there when the time aligns for you. The next day, you started to feel it in every move. The next day, light courses through you like the fire they named you withdrew. Element of fire, but I'm a child of the moon, so I see through both views. I evaluate what to do. I choose intentionally how to move, but ultimately light, I exude. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. And just thank you all for coming as well.
My name, oh yeah, so my name is Noor, and Noor means light in Arabic. Thank you so much, brother. Yeah, so I'm going to finish off with a part 1 and part 2 of the. No, that's not what you think, actually. I'm so sorry. The way I knew what you think before you said it, but yeah, sorry, it's not that one. I'm doing part 1 and part 2 of the Moon versus Sun collection that I am trying to work on. I'm just going to go straight into it, so I just want to say now that thank you so much for Abdullah, Akor, Meta, Ro, everyone. Just thank you so much for holding this space for me, and thank you so much to everybody in the audience for holding this space. And thank you so much to my friends that traveled from so far. I love you guys. But yeah, thank you so much. Okay. The moon and the sun, they were once one. Then the moon took a bite of an apple. The sun followed suit, he did as she do. Then the sun was filled with fire, and he shone the moon, 'cause she tasted the fruit before him. To taste fruit, for the moon was forbidden. Without him she bit it, she is shunned for her desires. He has turned to a ravenous fire, where he stings like a bee, and she hums like the birds. See, they say, as her fire flows, her innocence blows in the wind. Her wrist slips, her skin's rich, as she sits under a tree with the birds and the bees. They both sing, but Sima said that she has to wear a ring for her to join them to sing, all because her innocence blows in the wind. Why would you put her innocence in the hands of him? Everyone knows that the queen is more powerful than the king. But see, you tell her to shine like the moon, not the sun. Like she's allowed a light, but only if she stood behind someone's sun. See, people often wonder why I look to the stars to guide me. I often wonder how people miss their light so blindly, because see, when I say that I look to the stars to guide me, I don't mean calculators on compatibility. I mean what the sun and the moon mean to me. You can shine like the moon, but not the sun. Your cycle is 28 days. The sun makes it all the way round in one. It takes you a month to recover. Every month you have to pause your lover whilst the sun's always out somewhere as soon as the night is done. All because we were born in a world where they teach little girls that we're second-class citizens. I don't want to hear your opinions. You're going to wear that dress. You're going to clean that mess. You know this is a test. I guess I'm wasting my breath trying to teach these lot about misogyny. About how you got the family dichotomy of your deep-rooted pain. But see, you think you can train the patterns of my brain to see myself as small just so that you feel bigger. Like I'm allowed to shine, but only behind your light. Like I'm not allowed a light of my own because I'm the moon and you're the sun. And you've brainwashed our mums to always see the light in their sons, but they're always dim in their daughters' shine. Always telling us, don't ask why, just stand behind his light. Ma, are you not heavy in your chest? Can you not feel your sweat when they take away your breath, when you tell me that I'm not allowed a light of my own? I told you what we've been telling ourselves for years. On our own, Ma, we are the sun, we are the moon, we are the wind that blows, we are the flowers in the garden that they sow.
Now we are life, full of light, on our own. When an infradian and circadian rhythm try to align, of course it's going to take a while for the beats to be in time. A collision we have been trying to figure out for as old as time. When the sun and the moon combine. When a man and a woman align. If I'm the moon and you're the sun, then we have to constantly figure out how to love. See, the sun loves the moon. He gives her the light to shine. She closes his eyes and she trusts her light. She reflects his truth. He is honest with the moon. If we look to the sun and the moon, we never have to look far to figure out what to do. Look, we know how to be. I know you love me, and I love you too, but see, we haven't been saying it much lately because there's been a lot of figuring out to do. See, you met me in a full moon, and as the days passed and you saw a fraction of my light, I felt like I was slowly revealing myself to you, but you felt like I'd shut you off. And you were confused, but see, darkness is the moon's truth, and the moon doesn't shine without the sun's light. So if I was ever dark, it's because you stopped giving me your shine. And look, I've been burned by the sun before, so I know these are not your flaws, but I can't forget what I learned before. Look, I remember when the sun left me. I remember the dark smog of the ice age. Icy days, cold and grey. Look, the sun said he would rise for me every day, and then I was met with no more sun rays. Just a grey, dark sky, and at night I would rise, but it's like no one could see my light. It's like I built up this disguise, and I really tried to force that light. I tried, but it's like I felt alone. I couldn't fight. Somehow I had to provide my own light. It was after those nights that I never accepted a sunshine. I learned in my own universe, I create the laws of light. So in my world, the moon can shine without the need for sunlight. Now, after learning for myself how to provide, you want me to believe that this sun has entered my life to help me shine. Look, it's going to take a while for me to break down my walls. I started breaking them down around 6 months ago, but there is still a long way to go because it was the Spartans and the men of the Night's Watch that helped me put up the walls that I built around my heart. Look, that wall was so high I nearly died a couple times trying to lay the last bricks. But I would risk my life if it meant I was safe from him. So I'm still breaking down those legendary walls, and it's going to take longer than he may have thought, but I want this to work. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah, that one. Yes! So for the lovers out here, you know I love to love. I love love's love. I love love so. Love loves my love too. Thank you so much. I love to love. I love love's love. Can't say again. I love to love.
Spell it for us.
L-O-V-E. I love to love. I love love's love. I love love so. Love loves my love too. Thank you.
Come on.
1.5 poems for you. The first one is about, I don't know if you I started rediscovering poetry, and then you kind of scared shit out of somebody by reading them some poetry that you've just gone on a first date with.
On a first date?
First date poetry. Don't do it.
Please don't do it.
Permanent impermanence. We danced since we met towards that night, both broken, and where we shouldn't be, exactly where we were meant to be. Connection, intrigue, protection, keeping a distance. And as my imaginative poetry predicted, our bodies unwound it and played it out. Moving to the soundtrack of our meeting, as if the shore of desolation was the club. I saw you from across the room, moving to my jam. Your shape, colours, captivating. I offer you a drink, you refuse. Our words still amuse, I rap about. Freckles and curves, forbidden territories, we laugh and fall into bed, so far in my head. And then, the rhythm exactly how I wrote it. Playlist perfection. I am composer. Our bodies philharmonic. Intrigue fulfilled. Bless this. Open chest. Morning coffee, sleeping curls, words fall onto the page. Everything I learned forgotten. Avoidant, confused, misused, to be lied to and bruised as my open chest expands. Half asleep I dare to entertain with verse. I'll drop some bars and see you smile. Recognition, cognition, nutrition of self. Hours later, avoidant attachment confirmed by carefully constructed voice notes of compassion and care tinged with confusion of complicated and complicated heart. Fear of beauty, of realness, mistaken for fantasy. I reassure you it's fantasy mistaken for realness. Strongness mistaken for weakness. Anything to keep this. I position composition of words as exploration of possibilities, conflation of carnality with eternal truths and finality, distance restored, down this open chest. Lesson learned, fledgling poet burned, this bed is no stage. I'm here because fear of stages are less than the stages of fear of muse when not here. I double down on my poetic. Didn't you know that I blessed this stage? I've reached this stage because of your inner cage. Of diligence due, making sure it's not true. These words aren't for real that I say about you. And yet I speak truth. I come with proof. I've been doing that all of my life since my youth. But the permanence here are the words that you hear, not the me and you idea that I plucked from right here. And if it plays to your fear, if this feels too near, then just because it's poetry doesn't mean it's sincere. This one, just a quick one. After date number 2, she texts me, "Where you at?" I'm in Putney, laughing like Muttley, licking my wounds, ego bruised because you snubbed me. Hoped we'd connect because the night was so lovely. Plus Saturday was lit when you jumped on my can't deny for a minute that I thought this was it. Aware as a man that this ain't my land to conquer, don't want to. But sure would like to enter, adventure. If you're down, I remember. Uncertainty hurting me, not letting me know that you wanted me. But jokes you say, thin skin, just play, don't be sensitive. Pensive, what's wrong, sway? For now I hang back, flat white, half black. Till her desire inspired me to ask, where you at?
Hi.
Ya Ar-Rahman, please alleviate me and my wounded Iman. I can't find healing alone, but through your mercy I can. May my actions reflect the wisdom in your beautiful plans for me, so I may try to live them out with pious infinity. My amity lingers intimately where I may find the infinity to your divinity. You see, it is because of you alone that my humanity has shown. Through the fractures of my sorrows and serenity has grown, yet I know that tomorrow's another day I must conquer and own, so please loan me your mercy when my soul seizes in an existential tidal zone.
Come on.
Remove me from the sights of hungry waves and into spiritual safety zones. I'm trying to keep it stepping on these stones, but the cracks in between threaten the journey that I'm on. So how do I cement the voice that has dared to veil yours? The voice of unreason when I crawl on all fours just to get to your doors. As I strive to walk through your oxygenating talk, please help me pave the way to self-love and above all to your love. For I am tired of mourning my inner dove, so let me phoenix my way into nights and mornings of blissful callings. So about those callings, Allah painted you another reminder in the sky this morning. Allah painted you another reminder in the sky this morning to remind you of your calling. He communicated in orange hues with streaks of ceramic glue, saying, "Notice me, oh notice me. Let me help you to be free through the valleys, past the seas, so you may have eternal peace." So notice him. Don't forget to look up beyond dawn, beyond dusk, and God simply trust. From him there's no such thing as an inner mask. Spiritual emancipation is no easy task, so
Seek and you shall find, and find that he never left you behind. It takes time to be found, but to him you were never lost. So I guess you're halfway. That's it, just halfway. And that's you stagnant. And since there's no concrete destination on earth, I guess that leaves you with the potential for exponential growth. Something like the speed of light, waiting within to reignite. Oh Lord, where can I find this might to re-establish what is right when wrong has caused me to lose sight of all things pretty in this life as tasters for the afterlife. Oh wait, oh, that is right. You paint and paint us galleries and cosmic signs for us to see. Lush green jungles to help us breathe. Meteorites for our delight. Magic to keep our hope alive. I know, I do believe heaven is not to make to thee. Just something slightly out of reach. God's not playing hide and you go seek. He's closer than your jugular vein. Without him, life would be in vain. So, when all our pains you these constant reminders, don't forget to look up. Beyond dawn, beyond dusk, simply notice him, oh notice him. Unclip those tired, tortured wings. Thanks much.
This poem is called Schizoid Man, What Do You Think You're Afraid Of? I have lost all of my relations and most of my friends. The purpose I need to serve has made it so. A solitaire wanderer, at kingside hated, a chess piece fated as earth's silver-laced umbilical cord holding my soul hostage. Has Stockholm syndrome set into place to sweeten this bittersweet ungodly embrace? Cause man, I'm afraid to leave my space. It's sad, I know, but I'm lonely too. The concept of a friend scares me. I wouldn't know what to do, what to say. I told myself I have no friends. I've created this narrative that no one likes me, that I'm a burden to everyone else, that cracks form at my feet when I walk, that to feel safe I need to be alone. My brain a ticking time bomb, threatening me with casualties. The only way to save myself is to go. Is that what I'm afraid of? Not being liked? No, I've been through that, right? It's not being liked, it's the passive-aggressive, directly indirect, watching your voice fade out in a group you thought you belonged to. I don't talk to my siblings, I barely talk to my parents. Everyone is a potential source of danger, a danger from what I don't know. Because I know I can handle myself, I've got hands and I can regulate my emotions. Every battle I thought I've won, so what is there to be afraid of? But our definition of a battle is not the same. Going to the corner shop is a battle for me. This overarching need for safety has me rehearsing lines before I go. You know, he asked me for my name a few weeks ago. I've known him for nearly 15 years, stuck to thank you, have a good day / evening, never both. Because going back a second time would lead to more conversations and I can barely handle the necessary interactions. Anxious, maybe, afraid, I don't know. The people that do know me will call me a liar. They take offense that I said I have no friends. I know some people that would give a hand and leg for me. Maybe not their own, but still a hand and leg. They'd say I have no trouble conversing or trouble connecting. The amount of people that I've said, it's really rare for me, but I've really connected with you. But if I really connect with everyone, do I really connect with anyone? Is that what I'm afraid of? Intimacy in any construct. I do want an intimate relationship, I do want to bond, but the crying tears I've made up in my head stops the adhesive process and I just let opportunity slide off. Have you ever felt enough from a distance? It's so much safer if you're a good enough author. You can have them saying all types of shit in your fantasies. You can make them a physicist. Have them teach you about the G-string theory, followed by some quantum tunneling, and then finally heat and mass transfer. Only to find out that they have a sailor's mouth, and I could be into that, but my image of you is messed up and I don't think I'm in love with you anymore. Is that why I go for people that are busy, strictly NSA, no strings attached, and with the first signs of any emotions, escape as quickly as I came in? I'll stay in longer if I'm high, and I'm maybe a bit too high, too much, too often. But don't you go saying I love you, because you don't love me. You love the concept of me, the fragment of me that I've tailored to you. Is that all I'm afraid of? Healing fully. Is that why I keep going around in circles? Get so buzzed and get high again. Going round in circles, in a circle that's really just a circle. And because of that, I think thoughts. Constantly thinking thoughts. Thoughts meant for the future me to think about. Like how I want to be there when my mother, God forbid, my mother dies. I want to look her in her big, beautiful brown eyes and become her student again. Like when she taught me to walk, taught me how to carry myself. I want to be there. I want to be there and learn. I want to learn that it's okay to let go. Because I'm scared, I'm afraid, and I'm terrified. And it's all I ever think about. Come to think of it, that's all I ever do. And it's all I will do until I don't. But until that time, I'll carry on thinking of ways to distract myself from thinking. In the process, I'll think about things that need me to think a lot harder, with the goal of not thinking that I'm thinking of, with the goal of not thinking that I'm thinking too much about a thing I think I thought. I want to be there when my mother lives for herself, because she's been living for us for the longest time. And I think we've sucked all the happiness out of her. And I want to say I want to teach her how to be happy, but I honestly don't I felt it before. I am now time-space years old in this space-time place world. I'm yet to find my safe space-time galore, and time again this place has ruined my perception of what kind of space I'm supposed to feel / hold. And honestly, I think that time is out to get me. Not if I get it first. I'm joking. Or thinking, not yet thought it through. But I'm always going to be the one that gets got by time and space and time-space and space-time and thoughts. So yeah, I am afraid, but you couldn't tell it though.
I called my mum the other day, asking how she's been. You know, I haven't seen you for a while. How is the place you're living in? Oh, Mum, I'm giving in. I'm giving up. I'm losing out on inner wins. The dinner's up, man. I've sank in tins. And I feel like I need to be alone. Need to be at home, free to feel the zone. Need to leave my dome. Give me reasons to denote meanings leaving from your own mind. Appreciate the preacher's gold mine in your own time. Zone ties alleviate your own high from my dope lines. Appreciate my tone. Why lie about what I've shown? Why try and hide my prose? Why cry because you don't write? Go write and show me what you know. My mind is tired from all the times I've tried to try. I sit inside and write the lines that I recite online, man. All I do is write. So why don't I feel alright? Oh. All these lies I try to hide from my survival, man. I'm tired, and why would I enshrine revival? Living life already lacks the bridal label of surprise and lacks the title. I can't take a joke. Awaiting coping. Hope to raise a toast one day, man. I poke at pages. Scroll all day, afraid to make a statement. Hating ways I stayed restrained, refrained, displayed emotion. Making notes of mental open. Wait, I'm open arms. I wrote to stars, I'm scarred, I spoke from heart. I broke apart from hope, restarted calm and smart. Impartial mate who parted ways from martyrs. Pray for Gaza, laughter, can't forget the heart I left in darkness. Kept from starting, met with past disaster, man, I'm set on stardom. Stop laughing, because I can't be hard to like. Man, I pass the mic to anybody, catching plenty bodies till you hear as many of these bars. Cemetery dance, very scary dog, got a heavy heart and 11 lives. Kill me twice so I can live with these pussies. Oh, forgive me for running my mouth, man. I'm up in the south, corrupted, sound erupted in the function with puns and punching. I'm come out the jungle, man. The crowd is bumping. I'm rumble, still skiing with a golden jumper, cold in winter, slumber party, come with cocky, stare me down. I swear I'm floating. Come on. Cause I spoke with stars. Man, it's over, dog. Too slow to dance with open arms. I'm choking past the point of laughter. Salt disaster, fought my past. Rejoice till calm, I stole my swag. I hold the bag both hands. Suppose we laughed and danced instead of holding grudges. Judging my kin, private discussions round the boardroom. This is the sound they ought to treasure. Measure in between the lines, I see you seeking thee behind. Thank you.
Me, trying to sleep on the Northern Line at noon. You're too loud, you twat. That's IP number 1.
Oh, haikus! Love it. I wasn't ready.
And this one, by the way, is, you know, aggressions happen all the time. You probably haven't heard it in the news because shit happens all the time. Silence the margins.
Gaza and West Bank survive. Always amplified.
Aye.
Thank you.